How much money should you have in your trust fund or the funds you're setting aside to be part of that trust fund? Would you need to set aside for groceries? My name is Paul Vázquez with Tax Lab. We help people become ethical millionaires. So, in a recent post, I shared a small shopping list of eggs and some other items that ended up being about $11.12 with tax. So, how much would I need to have in savings in that trust fund in order to have that bill paid by residual income or unearned income, however you want to label it? Okay, so first, let's type in the bill, right? We had $11.12. Now, when we look at returns on investments, they usually do it on an APY, an annual, annual, P, percentage rate, APY per year, right? Annual return yearly. The Y is yearly, APY or APR, but normally it's about how much you're going to get back per year. So this is the month. In order to get the amount we would need to have that residually or taken care of through some type of investment, we need to convert this from a monthly into an annual. So we're just going to time this by 12 months in the year. And now we have our annual shopping need. If that was one shopping bill and we just wanted to take care of those eggs and other few items we purchased, from now on, we would need to have a income of $133.44 a year in residual or unearned income in that interest-bearing accounts, something that's bringing in money outside of our labor. So now, depending on the insurance rate, we need to kind of know where we're at. Now, if you're looking at this from a retirement standpoint, sometimes they say 3, sometimes they say 4% of your total assets. You'll want to only use that much, and then you should be able to continue on with that forever is the thought. So let's do 4% because currently there's a lot of your high-end savings accounts or money markets. Some of these more stable or principal conserving investments are 4% or more. So we'll be a little bit conservative and just say 4%. So how we get there is we're just going to divide this by 0.04, and that's 4%. All right, so we're just going to divide it to say if the $133.44 was our return on the investment of 4%, what would that principal amount be? And so that's $3,336. So what does that mean? That means that if you have $3,336 in an investment that's yielding 4% annually, you should have enough to pay for eggs for the rest of your life. If you're consuming a dozen eggs a month or a week, sorry, that was 2 weeks worth, wasn't it? It wasn't even a month. If that was a monthly bill, let's take a look at this again. But if that was every 2 weeks, okay, let's try that again, because I think those eggs, and this will just be a second example, kind of a reinforcement. Okay, so let's do this again real quick. Let's say that a dozen eggs last me just a week, and those other items on the list there. So we're going to do 12, 11, or no, it was 11, 12, right? 11, 12, and let's just say that was a week, right? Let's say that was weekly. We needed to spend that to maybe we're doing 2 eggs a day, and so out of a dozen, you've got 6 days at that point. So maybe you have something else, but let's say if you're going to do that eggs for the rest of your life. So we've got this. Now there's 52 weeks in a year. And so now we're at $578. If you had that coming in on interest every year, you'd never have to worry about buying eggs again at your current consumption level of eggs. All right, so now we take this and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to times it by 0.04, meaning if we had 4% interest and that was our annual return, what would be our total principal amount that we need to set aside? Oop, I should have done divide. We'll try that one more time. Divided by 0.14. Hit the wrong button. There we go. 14,456. So what does that mean? That means that if you wanted to have eggs for breakfast for the rest of your life and not have to worry about if you could afford it, so long as egg prices don't inflate dramatically and that your need for eggs doesn't increase dramatically, you would need $14,456 saved, invested at 4%, and you would never have to worry about breakfast again. Your breakfast would be paid for. So if you want a personalized plan for you, I want you to kind of take a look at this and say, hey, do I have that money? Is breakfast taken care of? So if we said that each meal cost you $11, each meal cost you $11, you could just multiply that by 3 meals a day now, right? And now you're at $43,000. So bump that up to 45 just for good rounding. $45,000 saved and invested at 4%. Now you have 3 meals a day for the rest of your life. Think about it. It's interesting, isn't it? That you could work right now, put aside that money for the old you who maybe isn't able to work anymore, isn't as spry as the younger you, maybe has some medical problems, but those meals are paid for in advance. And maybe some meals you eat less, some meals you eat more, but let's say if that were the average, that's all you need to have, and it's quite a bit, but your meals are taken care of for the rest of your life. A very conservative meal maybe, but it can be done. And so once you kind of know this and see this, you really have to decide the future you want to have. Do you want a future that is a little bit more worry-free? Then you need a plan. You need a plan to become an ethical millionaire. Go to lab.tax, click on advisory services, and get your free 15-minute introductory call, video chat today. I wish you guys all the success.